You picked up your cat today? Maybe you squeezed them a little, rubbed that belly, held them close, and it felt like love because for you, it was. But nobody's gonna tell you this to your face, so I will. In that exact moment, your cat's brain was doing the same thing a mouse does right before a hawk snatches it off the ground, not exaggerating, not being dramatic. That's just straight up cat biology. And the thing that's gonna mess with your head, the more you love your cat, the more you're probably triggering it, because every single thing we do to show affection, the eye contact, the grabbing, the holding, the touching, looks almost identical to a predator attack from your cat's point of view. So before you go in for that next belly rub, you're gonna wanna hear this, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And every moment you've ever had with your cat is about to look completely different. And here's the part that gets me. This isn't rare. This isn't one bad owner or one unlucky cat. Here's a number that's gonna hit different once you actually sit with it. There are around 74 million pet cats living in American homes right now, 74 million. And researchers found that nearly half of them, are showing signs of chronic stress. Not in shelters, not in bad homes, in regular houses, with owners who love them, and here's what should genuinely shake you. Most of those owners have absolutely no clue because cats don't cry when they're stressed, they don't whimper, they don't come find you, they go quiet, they go still. They sit there looking completely fine while their body runs a stress response. Day after day after day, vets actually have a name for this: chronic environmental stress, and left unchecked. It doesn't just mess with their mood, it starts breaking down their body. We're talking bladder disease, skin damage from compulsive over-grooming, gut issues, a noticeably shorter lifespan. All from stress, all in living rooms that looked totally normal from the outside. Now, this video isn't here to just freak you out and bounce. By the end, you're gonna know exactly what to stop doing, what to do instead, and how to actually read your cat's body language in real time so you never have to guess again. 3 mistakes, 3 fixes. Let's get into it. All right, mistake number 1. And this one's gonna sting a little. The belly rub, your cat rolls over, paws up, belly out, and your brain does exactly what it's supposed to do. It reads that as an invitation, so you reach down and go for it. And for a second, it's great. Your cat leans in, you're feeling like you nailed this whole cat owner thing, and then teeth claws. Your hand is being absolutely wrecked by an animal that weighs 11 pounds, and you're sitting there like, what just happened? Here's what happened. A cat showing you their belly isn't asking to be touched. It's a trust signal. Your cat is saying, I feel safe enough around you to show you my most vulnerable spot. That's the whole message. Not pet me here. Just I trust you. And when you reach in and start rubbing, you're not returning that trust. You're overloading them. See, cats have what's called a low sensory threshold. Their belly, their lower back, the base of their tail, absolutely packed with nerve endings. Way more than humans. And repetitive touch on those spots doesn't feel relaxing to them. It feels escalating. Think about someone tapping the same spot on your arm. Once, fine. Twice, okay. 7 times in a row, you're ready to snap. That's your cat. Every time, and research backs this up, cats who get repeatedly overstimulated during petting show real spikes in cortisol. That's the stress hormone, the same one that floods your system when something goes wrong, happening in your living room because you love them. Now here's the good news. The fix isn't stop petting your cat, it's learning to catch the warning window before it blows up. And your cat is already showing it to you. You just didn't know what you were looking at. Watch for 3 things. The tail starts to flick, not wag flick, low and sharp. That's the yellow light. Ears rotate back even just a little. That's the orange light. Skin ripples across the back, like a little wave moving under the fur. That's the red light. If you haven't stopped by the time you see that skin ripple, you already know what comes next. So here's the actual fix, and it's dead simple. Pet for a couple seconds, then pull back. Wait, if your cat pushes their head toward your hand, that's a yes. Keep going. If they go still or look away, that's a no. You're done. That's the whole system. And cats who get petted like this on their own terms actually get more affectionate over time, not less, because now they know you're not going to steamroll them. And that's the whole thing with cats. It always comes back to trust. If this is already changing how you see your cat, stick around, because what's coming next runs even deeper than this. And if you want more of this, hit subscribe. That's exactly what we do here. Okay, mistake number 2. And this one cuts deeper than the belly rub, because this isn't about your hands. This is about what you do the second you walk through the door after a long day, when you're drained and you just want your cat. Picture it. You get home, work was rough. You walk over to your cat, make eye contact, scoop them up, hold them against your chest. And for a second, you actually feel better. Meanwhile, your cat is staring at the wall, completely stiff, just waiting for it to be over. And here's what's gonna get you. In cat body language, sustained direct eye contact isn't warmth, it's a dominant signal. It's what a predator does right before it moves in. And scooping a cat up with no warning, no signal, no green light from them, that maps almost perfectly onto being grabbed by something bigger than you. In the wild, that's not a metaphor, that is literally what your cat's nervous system is experiencing while you're standing there thinking you're having a moment. And cats who go through this repeatedly, the grabbing, the staring, the unsolicited holding, they develop elevated baseline cortisol. Not just in those moments. Baseline, their body starts running a background stress response as its default state because they've learned their environment is unpredictable, that things just happen to them, that they have no say. And for a cat, no control isn't just uncomfortable, it is destabilizing. So here's the fix, and this part is genuinely wild. Scientists ran a study where they tested whether cats responded differently to human facial expressions. What they found completely changed how we understand cat communication. When a person looks at a cat, slowly narrows their eyes, and glances away, the cat reads it as a friendly signal, a non-threat. An acknowledgement with zero aggression behind it. They called it the slow blink. And cats slow blink back, consistently more than with a neutral face. You and your cat have an actual nonverbal language, a real back and forth, and most people have been walking right past it their whole lives. So instead of locking eyes, look at them softly, slowly squint like you're half asleep. Then look away. That's the whole move. Do that consistently, and your cat will start coming to you. Not because you pulled them in, but because you made them feel safe enough to want to. Same idea applies when you want to pick them up. Crouch down to their level, extend one finger like you're offering a handshake. If they sniff it and rub their face on it, that's a yes, you're good. If they sniff and walk away, that's a no. And you respect it. Full stop? Simple? Yeah. But what you're actually doing is handing control back to an animal that's built to need it. And the difference it makes, you'll feel it within days. Not weeks, days. Because your cat isn't going to suddenly become a different animal, they're going to finally feel safe enough to show you who they already are. Okay, stop for a second. Because right now, there's a really good chance you're thinking, yeah, but my cat seems totally fine, and I need you to really hear what I'm about to say, because this is the part of the video that changes the whole thing. Cats are prey animals, and prey animals don't show weakness. Not to predators, not to threats, not to you. In the wild, a cat that shows pain or distress is a cat that gets eaten. So over millions of years of evolution, cats got really good at looking completely normal while something is going very wrong on the inside. Vets have a name for it, stoic masking, and here's the thing, you've probably already seen it. That moment where your cat just sat there, still quiet eyes half open, and you thought they were chill, relaxed, fine. They weren't necessarily, they were just really good at not letting you know. That's one of the main reasons stress-related illness in cats goes undiagnosed for months, sometimes years. So what is chronic stress actually doing to your cat's body? When a cat lives in a stressful environment, even a mild one, even one that looks perfectly cozy from the outside, their body stays locked in a semi-permanent state of alert. Cortisol runs elevated day after day, week after week. And here's what sustained cortisol does over time. It starts breaking things. The immune system weakens. The gut becomes hypersensitive. And the urinary tract, which is already one of the most vulnerable systems in a cat's body, starts to inflame vets. Vets call it feline idiopathic cystitis. Thick? It means your cat is straining to urinate. There's blood in the litter box, and in male cats, a full urinary blockage can become fatal within 24 to 48 hours if it goes untreated. Now here's the number that's going to sit with you. In up to 75% of FIC cases, there's no infection. Nothing shows up on a test. Just inflammation caused by stress. 3 out of every 4 cats in an emergency vet clinic with a urinary crisis are there because of their environment. Not a virus, not bacteria, their environment. And the average emergency visit for a urinary blockage? somewhere between $800 and $1,000, way more. Almost none of those owners were sitting in that waiting room thinking, this started at home. This was preventable. But here's what's even harder to hear. The bladder isn't the only thing that takes the hit. Chronic stress in cats is directly tied to compulsive over-grooming, where they lick patches of fur completely bald. Stress-induced hair loss, gut inflammation that shows up as chronic vomiting or diarrhea, your vet can never fully explain. And respiratory infections that keep cycling back because the immune system never fully resets. This isn't your cat being dramatic. This isn't a quirky personality. It's a medical condition. One that builds quietly, one that doesn't announce itself until something breaks. Now, here's what actually matters. Every single thing we just went through, the immune suppression, the urinary inflammation, the compulsive grooming, is directly and measurably reduced by something researchers call environmental enrichment, which basically means giving your cat more control, more predictability, and fewer of the 3 triggers we're walking through today. We've covered 2. The third one, most people never even think of it as a problem, which is exactly why it's probably the one doing the most damage in your home right now. The first 2 mistakes were about touch and eye contact. Mistake number 3 is about the space your cat lives in every single day. And honestly, this is the one most people feel the worst about because it's stuff that's already in your home, stuff you set up with good intentions, stuff that's been quietly stressing your cat out the whole time. The litter box, nobody wants to go here. But stay with me because this one's wild. The rule most cat owners have never heard. The number of litter boxes in your home should be the number of cats you have, plus one cat. 2 boxes, 2 cats, 3 boxes. Sounds like overkill. Here's why it's not. Cats are hardwired to avoid going to the bathroom near their food, near other cats, or anywhere that feels exposed or trapped. When you give a cat 1 box, especially shoved in a corner, a closet, or behind a door, every single bathroom trip becomes a source of anxiety every day, for years. And location matters just as much as number. A litter box next to a washing machine that randomly kicks into full spin cycle? Your cat got ambushed by a loud, vibrating machine at their most vulnerable moment. They're not going back in there, not out of spite, out of genuine fear. And that covered box you bought because it looks cleaner and traps the smell. Here's the thing, it does trap the smell. That's the problem. A cat's nose is between 14 and 80 times more sensitive than yours. You put a lid on that box, and from your cat's perspective, you just turned their bathroom into a porta potty. Every single time. Now here's the one that catches people completely off guard: bird videos. Cat TV on YouTube. Squirrel content. Hundreds of millions of views. Millions of cat owners put this on every day thinking they're doing something good, and sometimes they are, but here's what the screen doesn't tell you. If your cat watches that bird and can never reach it, can't stalk it, can't catch it, can't complete the hunt, that video isn't enriching them. It's frustrating them. Cats are wired for the hunt. And the hunt isn't just an impulse, it's a fixed sequence that needs to complete. Search, stalk, pounce, catch, kill, eat. Every step of that sequence releases feel-good neurochemicals. But if the loop never closes, if your cat watches prey on a screen and the cycle just ends there, that loop stays open, unresolved, every single time. And an open loop in a hunting brain builds into constant low-level stress and frustration that sits there quietly day after day. And then there's your phone. The pings, the chimes, the video that autoplays at full volume out of nowhere. We tune that out. Our brains filter it. A cat's brain doesn't work that way. Every unexpected sound triggers a micro-startle response. Every single time. If you're getting 50 notifications a day, your cat is having 50 micro-startle responses in their own home, in what's supposed to be their safe space. And the thing is, they can't tell you. They can't ask you to turn it down. They just absorb it. Every single day. Procagay. The fixes? Here's the good news. These fixes are way simpler than the problems. For the litter box, add one more. Open space, away from appliances, no lid, scoop it daily. That one change alone cuts stress-related litter box avoidance in most cats significantly. For the screen content, follow the bird video with 5 minutes of wand toy play, then feed them right after screen time. Real play food. That sequence actually mirrors a complete natural hunt cycle. And cats who get that full loop regularly are calmer, less reactive, and way less likely to act out. For the notifications, put your phone on Do Not Disturb when you're home. Not for your sake, for theirs, because your cat can't tell you when they're overwhelmed. They just absorb it. Every ping, every chime, every unexpected sound, all day long. 3 changes. You could make all 3 today, and your cat would feel the difference before the week is out. We set it at the top 74 million pet cats in America. Millions of those cats end up at the vet every year for stress-related illness. Millions of visits, and almost none of those owners, when they're sitting in that waiting room, are connecting what happened to their cat to anything going on at home. Not the belly rubs, not the forced cuddles after a long day, not the covered litter box in the laundry room, not the 50 notification pings a day. They're just worried about their cat. They pay the bill, they take them home, and tomorrow they do the exact same things. That's not negligence. That's just not knowing. And here's what makes that genuinely heartbreaking. Cats are one of the most popular pets in this country. More households own cats than dogs, and yet cats are still one of the least understood animals when it comes to what they actually need emotionally and psychologically. Dogs spent centuries being selectively bred toward human behavior. They run toward us when something's wrong. They mirror us. They're basically fluent in us. Cats didn't evolve that way. They evolved alone, quietly, on their own terms. And even when they're curled up at the foot of your bed in the suburbs eating food from a can, the cat on your couch is still neurologically and emotionally about 3 steps removed from a small desert predator that survived entirely on its own. We keep trying to love them like they're something else. That gap between what cats actually are and how we treat them is where all of this stress lives. Not in cruelty, not in carelessness, just in the space between what we feel and what they need. So here's exactly what to stop doing. Stop overriding the signals. The tail flick, the ear rotation, the skin ripple, the slow blink back. Your cat has been talking to you this whole time. You just needed the translation. Stop reaching and start waiting, in petting, in contact. In every moment your instinct says, reach, try waiting instead. What comes to you when you wait is always more than what you would have taken. Stop letting the environment work against them. One more litter box. Open placement, no lid. Phone on, do not disturb. 5 minutes of real play after screen time. Not grand gestures, just small shifts in a space that already belongs to them. Here's what the research says about those shifts in multiple published studies on environmental enrichment in cats. Real, documented reductions in stress-related illness showed up in as little as 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It's not a long time, not for an animal that gives you 10, 12, 15 years. Your cat has been communicating with you since the day you brought them home, every tail flick, every slow blink, every time they went completely rigid in your arms and stared at the wall. Every time they sat just close enough to be near you, but just far enough to have an exit. All of it was language. You weren't ignoring it. You just didn't have the translation. And now you do. There's a version of this conversation that leaves you feeling terrible about yourself. That version isn't useful. Not to you, not to your cat. What is useful is the next moment. The next time you walk through the door and feel that pull to just scoop them up and you wait instead. The next time you sit down, extend one finger and your cat walks over not because you went and got them, but because they chose to come to you. That moment, that one small, quiet, completely ordinary moment. That's what all of this was actually for. If your cat could tell you one thing, one specific thing about what their life with you actually feels like, what do you think it would be? Not what you hope, what you actually think it would be. Sit with that for a second. Because the fact that you're even asking yourself that question right now, that's not nothing. That's everything. Next week, we're going somewhere most cat owners never even think to look. The way your cat reads your emotional state, not your body language, your actual mood, your stress, your anxiety, your sadness, and what they do with that information. If you thought today was a lot, just wait. If this video hit different for you, subscribe because that's exactly the kind of thing we do here, and you do not want to miss next week.